Yes. This was a little bitty week for hotel prayer.
Yes.
And that exactly started, I have a sign-up sheet here that I'd like to pass around. And just put your name and your phone number down and put a check mark on any day you might be available. This is during the day or even during the weekday. And again, the idea is we're just going to be moving small items from the old clinic wall to the new clinic. And these are things like this, so especially in the restrooms and mirrors and things that are hanging in the wall that are for the staff. So then, no hard deal if you have an hour or so to spend, put your name down, and I'll contact everybody and make sure we're coordinated on time. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran. I apologize. I didn't get that in. I wanted to make sure I got that in. I apologize. All right, Mr. Steedley, would you come introduce student number 1? I believe he's got to go, so we wanted to go early with him.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, thank you.
So our 2 students this month, one of them is at the CUNA convention. So we'll actually have 3 next month from Oldham County High School. But today from Oldham County High, we have Matthew Lewis, another one of our great seniors this year. And Matthew is actually very active in our band program, and he's on his way from here up to LaGrange to participate in an event with the band up in LaGrange. So Matthew Lewis.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Before I begin my speech, I would like to give thank you to the Rotary Club for having me today. I'd also like to give thank you to the staff and teachers who voted me and nominated me to have this opportunity today. Thank you very much. And lastly, I'd like to give thanks to my parents, especially my dad who came out to watch this video, to watch this presentation. Okay. The hardest part of this speech was deciding what I was going to talk about because the door was really left open. The only thing I was told to do was reflect on my past. And there's so many things you can talk about when you look back, even over the 18 years I've lived, which is not as much as compared to some other people here. But out of all topics, there was one main topic that kind of just stuck out to me. That was the topic of identity. Because identity is something that's very important. We're all different from each other. The definition from the Merriam-Webster dictionary gives for identity is distinguishing character or personality of an individual. I like that definition because it points out the word individual. Identity is something that is individual to the person. But the one thing that doesn't include is community, which I will speak upon more later. So identity through individuality simply implies that you are the sum of your parts, even if your parts are similar or like other people's parts. I like analogies a lot, and I use them when I'm talking to my friends. So I thought of cars. You can make 10,000 trucks. If you use the same parts, they're all the same cars. But if you put 10,000 people through the same experience, they will all turn out different. I guess some of the things that truly made me what I am today is my upbringing. My parents were quite strict on me when I was a little kid. And that really helped me though later in life. When you're a little kid though, you get really upset when your parents are just, constantly fussing at you for everything. And if I got into even somewhat major trouble, best believe the punishments were quite severe for that. But now that when I was reflecting back and I looked over that, I realized that was one of the, if not the most important parts of my life. Because if my parents were not strict on me, then I would have never found the motivation in myself to push forward and truly get to the point where I could do great events like this and talk to great people and have great opportunities now and in the future. Another thing that I hear a lot about me is my personality. They say my teachers always describe, like if they're talking to my parents, they're always talking about how my personality is quite unique, to say the least. But yeah, that's one of the 2 main things that make me. The third thing about me is responsibility. Is something that everyone sooner or later has to take. And I had to kind of grow up to be more responsible than the average kid. Because when I was in third grade, I remember I was playing football down at OCYFL right across the street. And I was just not having a great day. I was feeling really sluggish and having issues. And it turned to a doctor visit. And next thing you know, I'm at the hospital and I found out I have type 1 diabetes. And that was one thing, you know, when you're a little kid and you're told you got to take 5 or 6 shots a day. And when you're told you can't eat some of your favorite foods you've been eating for years, it's devastating, honestly. But honestly, when I look back over it, I'm kind of glad that that happened, because at the end of the day, I don't think I would have been anywhere near as responsible in life without that event happening. That's enough about me. So the second concept I talked about was identity through community. So my individuality is very important. Community is something that's interesting. In the quote, it did not mention community at all, which is why I didn't like the dictionary definition completely, because communities have identities. The one problem about identity through community is the fact that when you're part of a community, you're uniform. You seem like a part of a group, which seems like you lose your individual identity. That was something that, you know, has sat in my mind for many years. And I remember, though, my band director, Mr. Centers, he gave a speech about when we put on our marching band jackets for the first time. And that speech, honestly, it changed my life, because he said, you do not lose your identity when you join a community. You just gain another part to your identity. Those words were very powerful. I'm honestly grateful that I heard those, because my goal is to truly make an impact into many communities throughout my life. When reflecting back upon everything I just said, you know, identity honestly has truly shaped a lot of my life. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things that Oldham County in general has brought me. Out here, I look into an audience full of a bunch of leaders, from organizational, religious, bosses, teachers, school staff, students even. And honestly, it's inspired me truly to want to be a leader within the Oldham County community. When I realized one of the most important parts of community is a leader and someone to keep the community going in the right direction. And that's why I'm truly grateful to have the chance to speak to you guys and to get to learn just from even the slight conversations I had with you guys. Thank you very much for having me today. Okay. I plan on being a civil engineering major at Speed School, U of L.
We wanted to get you to take a photo of us since you have to leave.
Okay.
So, what questions do we have of Matthew while he's still here?
Why in the world would you go to U of L?
There's no better college in the state.
I agree, amen, man. For this thing, we gotta look at it. Stay around. What other questions do we have for Matthew?
What instrument do you play?
I play trombone.
Trombone. And you're going to a competition now?
No, we're gonna play, it's the Judicial Center. I believe they're doing some groundbreaking on that, and they wanted the band to play about an hour's worth of music, which was interesting because we had like 2 hours to practice, an hour's worth of music.
Wow.
So yeah, well,
No
that's gonna
pressure.
be a lot of fun.
No pressure.
Could we ask your friends to describe your personality? What would they say?
What to say? Creative. I'm very fun. I like to have fun. When I need to be serious, truly though, I can get very serious. It's mainly the teachers who's talking about my personality though. Whenever they get a chance, it's because, you know, I'm hardworking. I like to truly push myself. I never like, even when I do something, I always at the end of it say I could have done that better, instead of looking back and be like, that was great, that was perfect. Because nothing's never perfect, and I can never say something's good enough, because it's kind of weird saying something's good enough because it's neither good nor enough.
Very strict. Really?
My parents are strict.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have been stricter. They could have been looser.
You beat your sister in a foot race.
She is faster than me. She's in college in track. Yeah. No, I've accepted that one a long time ago.
But you probably can't play the trombone.
No, she can't play trombone. She played trumpet, maybe. Maybe. Many years since that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Tanya Burns. I teach the Biomedical Academy upstairs here at the Arvin Center. And I have the distinct pleasure of introducing a student that I've had for 3 years. She's in her 4th year of the Biomedical Academy program. And she's also an intern at U of L Hospital, the med school there. And then she is also a member of our health occupation students student organization. And she went to competition last week with us. So Nora Weatherton is just a wonderful, wonderful young lady, wonderful student. I've enjoyed having her these past 3 years. I have watched her go from this inquisitive young lady to just this mature young woman who knows what she wants. And when you challenge her, she rises up to that challenge. And I so respect that. She's had several capstone projects this year that have been the best. And she's won several times out of her classmates. And so I'm so distinctly proud of her, and I cannot wait to see what she does.
Hi, my name is Nora Weatherton, and I'm a senior at North Oldham High School. This is also my 4th year at the Arvin Center. First of all, I would like to thank all of those people who nominated me for this honor, and also my parents for coming. It meant a lot to be selected, and confirms that my hard work didn't go unnoticed. I've spent 4 years at the Arvin Center, which I've thoroughly enjoyed, and this year I've been able to spend 2 mornings each week at the University of Louisville Hospital, gaining real-life experience. This incredible opportunity has given me so much confidence and knowledge that is simply unattainable in a classroom setting. I've been on medical rotations that switch each month, including emergency department, labor and delivery, trauma, neurosurgery, and oncology. Labor and delivery has been my favorite. During that rotation, I got to watch a C-section. I learned how to read fetal strips, how to treat jaundice, and the signs of preeclampsia, and so much more. And at my home high school, I've taken 6 AP classes, 4 of which have been during my senior year. I've also taken many dual credit and honors courses. I was part of the volleyball team for 3 years, and I am a part of Ski Club HOSA and the National Honor Society as well. I've gotten Student of the Year awards for Spanish 2 and English 3. I work as a lifeguard, babysit, and I'm a certified scuba diver. Next year, I'm starting my 1st semester at Florida State University, where I will either major in marine biology or interdisciplinary medical sciences. In the future, I either want to be a marine biologist, cardiologist, pharmacist, or a neonatologist. During college, I'm planning to work as a laboratory technician, and I'm currently working towards my license. I also want to work as an emergency medical technician at some point before I start medical school. I'm really looking forward to the next chapter of my life as the school year comes to a close. Thank you again for this honor.
Nora, will you introduce your parents, please?
Yes, that's my mom, Angela Weatherton, and then my dad, Lee Weatherton.
You go to Florida State.
I really liked the programs that they offered, and I always wanted to go to the East Coast because of my interest in marine biology.
Are you going to be able to yell against the University of Louisville?
Sorry, what'd you say?
He didn't say anything.
What other questions do we have for Nora?
So how are you going to decide between those 2 fields? Because they're pretty diverse.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how much I love marine biology, and if I love it enough, I'm gonna continue to pursue it and possibly get like a PhD. But if not, I'm gonna go to medical school.
Very interesting.
Anything else?
Having been on the campus, it's a good campus.
I'm excited.
That's great. Thank you, Nora.
Thank
Stay
you.
around. All right. So, as a good president, I've given you 11 minutes for the remainder of your day. So if you want to, we can, add information to the good of the order, or we can ask students the questions that remain, or we can speak about topics that you care about.
Spin the wheel.
You want to spin the wheel and get it done. I hear
was
you.
gonna-
Stan.
I would like to say that
Oh, yeah.
we had our sectional speech contest last week. And our winner of our contest and
Freeland.
so I want to aware of the still be long. Reading this. It's naturally really.
Yeah, thank you, Stan, for being the champion of that. So it is the week after spring break. Is that right for the divisional one?
It's either that or the following.
Okay. So that's something I did as an outside judge last year with Stan. That was a ton of fun to see the other Rotary Club, but then also to hear how the level of those students, work has really progressed, and they do those without notes at that time. And it's really cool. So I think I'm going to try to join Stan if I can, but it'll be fun if you all want to join us. All right. If you have a ticket, here's your winning number, 833.
For me.
Tom? Tom's not had enough attention today. He's got to win the thing too. Nope, can't do that. All right, you know the rules. How many dollars again?
Over 100.
Oh, just, okay. How about all right, nope. Here's your pizza. He gets free pizza, everybody. Thank you very much. Denise?
We have a few minutes. I'd like to ask, Tim, Julie, talk to them. And King, if you would meet me over here for just about 3 minutes.
That's great. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Al reminded me that we're starting in this transition time between my being president and Steve Sparrow being president. I know, John. He's been waiting for that. One of the things that we're trying to do is to make sure that we hand off that leadership really well. So Blaine and myself and Steve and Al are going to be meeting this afternoon. If you have anything that you want to make sure we accomplish in that process, now's a good time to speak up to that group of four. And this is something we're going to be doing every year, trying to make sure that we hand off the leadership well. So, all right.
Hey, real quick, we're talking about the students. One of the things that I've been doing is transportation with the school system. Last couple of weeks, I've been doing some field trips. Last week, I had the 7th and 8th grade band. And yesterday, I had the 7th and 8th grade choir that were going over and doing some different competitions. And I got to tell you, folks, I was absolutely astounded at how well these kids do. And not just my own personal commentary, but I sat in the back where the judges were, and the bands, for example, were getting distinguished awards. I mean, the top awards that you can get for the band, and the choirs did fantastic as well. So you hear all this negativity regarding kids, but I tell you what, when I see all that stuff, it really warms your heart to see how well these kids are doing. So just want to mention that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, friends, let's go serve somebody today. Have a great afternoon.
I thought you were going to the bathroom. That's why you took the mic off.
I went, so we're fine.
Don't know how you want that filled out at the top. Goes for the name tags.
Oh, okay.